Madison police want to warn you about a current scam where people are impersonating government officials and convincing others to convert their money into gold, initiate wire transfers, or mail them cashier's checks. Scammers have been posing as the Social Security Administration, the FDIC, the U.S. Supreme Court, and other agencies, messaging people official documents that include the names and seals of these government agencies, but they are not legit. The scammers say the victims' Social Security numbers they've been compromised and ask them to protect their funds by withdrawing them, then converting them into physical gold. They'll initiate a wire transfer and then mail them a check. Madison police say that government agencies do not require you to move funds to keep them safe, and they'll never ask you to purchase or convert your money into gold. If you believe that you've been a victim of these scams, you are encouraged to file a report with MPD.